𝗘𝗏𝗏 is the most important token on the entire market, and I think it has a ton of upside. I think it's gonna flip SHIB, and it could go to 20 billion market cap, currently where Hyperliquid is sitting at. So I'm gonna break the entire narrative down. Watch until the end. This is gonna be a dense show, but it's gonna be one of the best shows I've ever done. So pay very close attention right until the end. Let's get started. Welcome to the show. Let's go. 𝗏𝗏 is exploding. The charts are looking amazing, and I think everyone needs to understand the reason why until 𝗏𝗏 reaches its targets and its goals and its objectives, we are probably not going to see major runners, billion market cap runners out there on the market, because all the smart money is still positioning into 𝗏𝗏, and everyone needs to understand why 𝗏𝗏 is the most important token on the market right now. So this entire video is going to be about that. So Pump has distributed over the past week $15.5 million, because I was preparing this yesterday. It's actually now almost at $17 million, and creator fee claims are now 3.5 million just in the last 24 hours. So if you look at some statistics, this is almost all-time highs in terms of creator fee claims. So what's happening? Why did everything change? What were the changes done by Alan and the team that are making 𝗏𝗏 become the most interesting undervalued token in the entire market? Okay, let's understand. In total, almost 50,000 wallets have claimed these creator fees. Some of the earnings range from 70K to 177K. Of course, some of the people that are making the most money are deployers, but we're seeing now streamers on 𝗏𝗏, and they're getting paid quite a lot. And this is an entire narrative shift into paying creators and paying the community that is hardworking, and those are deserving people of these fees. I think this is honestly even better than an airdrop and more bullish pump. So big turnaround. As you can see here on fees, we're almost at all-time highs compared to what was happening in the beginning of 2005. Let's understand the big turnaround on 𝗏𝗏. So a month ago, everyone was sure it was over. Even I was like, don't touch the token. It was going down, and it looked like, you know, they made a ton of money and they didn't care. Alan wasn't posting a lot. The team was kind of like sidelined, you know, Jew mode, and then it goes down. The whole thing just didn't look very good. But today they're nearly all-time highs in terms of fees. They're now comparable to Hyperliquid in terms of revenue buybacks, and they're only at a fraction of the market cap, and that's what's fueling the bullishness. And I have some charts I created that compare very well Hyperliquid, 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, some of the best revenue tokens and buyback tokens out there to 𝗏𝗏, and why 𝗏𝗏 is the most undervalued. So fees are great. In terms of buybacks, it's amazing. It's basically like throwing $2 million every single day in terms of buybacks, constantly. So 𝗏𝗏 bought back another 2 million in pump just yesterday. So over 6% of the supply. In total, 85 million in buybacks, almost 20 million in September, just September. And the current rate is 1% every single 11 days is being bought back. This is the best buyback valuation ratio on the entire market. And right now, 𝗏𝗏 is running the same buyback rate as Hyperliquid, but the valuation is 10 times lower. And so this is about native revenue tokens can generate. That's the most important thing right now in crypto. This is amazing because we're talking about fundamentals again and not just useless crap. So let's talk about Pump DATs. Okay, these digital asset treasuries. It looks like there's a chance Pump is going to get one of those, which is also incredibly bullish and would add to these buybacks. So one of the co-founders, Noah, was saying it's very much considered. I can say more, and then he started laughing. Okay, one of the co-founders of Pump was saying this on an interview, I think yesterday. So the probability of this happening is already there in the works. Pump is one of the 3 assets where a digital asset treasury, okay, one of these DATs actually makes sense, just like Hive, just like Athena. They print a ton of cash, big treasury. They are going for a massive market cap, probably 20 billion. It's very possible. And the growth trajectory is just great. So this is actually a pretty decent asset to hold in crypto, especially in a bull market. And then there's another thing that we need to understand, which is the pump to hype ratio. Okay, if you look at the ratio in terms of market cap, FTV, the pump market cap and FTV is very compressed if we compare it to Hyperliquid. But then when it comes to 7-day fees, it's winning. When it comes to 30-day fees, it's basically almost 50-50. So why is 𝗏𝗏 so much lower market cap wise than Hyperliquid? Makes no sense. Exactly, that's why Pump is going up. So it's still undervalued, but it's also a very attractive option with very asymmetric upside. It's still trading at the lowest earnings multiple amongst all their peers. Okay, so here's this chart I made, which is price earnings market cap comparison across protocols. Look at Pump.Fund compared to all the protocols out there in crypto that are actually valuable and pretty cool. You know, Aerodrome, Hyperliquid, PancakeSwap, Raydium, Jupiter. Why would you buy Raydium when you have something like Pump, which is at the PE market cap ratio of 2.5, close to 3 now, and Raydium is at like almost 20. Hyperliquid is at 11. The upside here is huge market cap wise. This is one of those trades where people are entering with size, with a lot of size. Pump's price earnings ratio based on market cap is only 2.6, oscillating there 2.5, 2.7, and every other protocol out there is at least 5, almost 10 or above 10. And so investors are paying far less for each dollar of Pump's annual revenue, and this signals the market may be undervaluing its earnings power compared to its peers. Maybe no, it it is undervaluing Pump for sure. Yes, Pump has some risks. Yes, there's also some other risks in terms of the way I think some people were looking at the way the team was like acting, you know, Jew mode, etc. I mean, let's be honest, they're the most important protocol of the entire cycle. They're the one. All the revenue, you know, the entire meme coin meta, everything points out to Pump. Pump needs to pump. Thank God it's pumping right now, and I think it's going to pump even more. So also important, another chart I did right here, price earnings FDV comparison. It gets even more interesting. Look at Hyperliquid's FDV price to earnings compared to Pump. Okay, so Pump's price earnings FDV wise is only 7.5, while every other major protocol out there is 10 plus. Hyperliquid and Radium sitting above 35. This is why I think Pump.Fun can actually go to something like 10 billion, maybe even 20 billion market cap. I think it's possible. Okay, I think it's 100% possible. I think by the time it's there, Hyperliquid is probably way higher. Okay, it's probably at $100, but I think it's possible that something like that actually happens. And then of course, 𝗿𝗲𝗀𝗻, as I was saying on one of my previous videos, also looking amazing, like one of the best buys. PancakeSwap is also looking good, and so is Jupiter. But of all of these, Pump is still the most attractive. So even if you account for total supply, total token supply, FDV, the market is still pricing Pump's earnings far cheaper than any of its peers. It's undervalued, and it has a ton of upside potential, and it has the narrative, which Jupiter right now does. PancakeSwap doesn't. 𝗿𝗲𝗀𝗻 also does. Okay, it has the narrative, it has the attention, all the KOL. So let's look at the chart. I think Pump.Fun right now broke resistance. Okay, it's now pumping almost at all-time highs. So I think we can reach and top at something like a Shiba Inu market cap. I mean, if Pump can flip Shiba Inu, then what the hell is wrong with the space? I think 0.021 is very likely going to happen, and it's basically like a 3.8x away from here. It's probably also a good place to offload some profits at current Shiba Inu's market cap, but I think the current Hyperliquid market cap of 18 billion, if indeed we see Bitcoin all-time highs, etc., this would be my main target. Okay, current Hype's market cap would be my main target to offload another maybe 10 to 20%. So I would offload 90 to 80% here, depending on what's happening to the market, and I would offload another 10, 20% right here, depending of course on what's happening in the market, or I could just offload slowly as it price maybe progresses over there. Okay, but these are my two targets I'm looking at for Pump.Fun. Okay, I hope you have enjoyed the show. Current Hyperliquid market cap 17, 18 billion market cap, and Pump.Fun is looking very, very good here at 2 billion market cap. The reason why I haven't taken any profits on Pump.Fun, and I'm not going to do it anytime soon right now, is because Bitcoin indeed broke this major resistance here at 130k, and it does look like it wants to push higher. Of course, next resistance is going to be right here at 17k. If it does, I think it's pretty sure that we're going to go into new all-time high territory, and we're very close to that. And what's going to happen is Pump.Fun is just going to be probably the best alt, leverage-wise, fundamentals-wise, as Bitcoin might progress there. And even if it doesn't, it's still better than being allocated to any meme coins, because how many meme coins can you enter with size? Maybe get a 3 to 7x, and they have fundamentals. Zero, none of them. And this is why I think Pump.Fun is the most important project in crypto right now, and that's why I was doing that video on Pump.Fun and the whole revenue meta, and that's still the main narrative and still the main meta. So thank you very much. See you guys in the next one.